Okay guys, so this video is going to be a little bit more serious than the other videos, just because we're going to be talking about something super sensitive and something that I feel like I need to talk about, especially being a huge Star Wars fan, and not just a Star Wars fan but a Black Star Wars fan as well. And it's something that I want to address, and I'll try not to make this video too long, but this is in regards to John Boyega's interview for British GQ, where he basically just says all that he has to say concerning his experience with Star Wars, and he talks about some other stuff as well. I'll leave the link if you guys want to read the entire interview for yourself in the description box below, but he talks about some other stuff as well, with George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement, and all kinds of different things, his personal careers, different things in his life, with his story and stuff like that. So those are some of the stuff he talks about, but I'll more or less be addressing his statements regarding the sequels for Star Wars, because a lot of you guys don't know I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Everything is, a lot of the stuff in my room is Star Wars. I got my girl into Star Wars. I got Star Wars books, Star Wars comic books, audio books, you name it. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so this is definitely something I want to talk about. So let's just go straight into this article, and I'm not gonna read everything, but we're gonna talk about some points here. Okay, so one of the things we're going to talk about is this specific portion right here in the article, right up here. He says, you get yourself involved in projects and you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is, do not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. He's talking about himself here and the character of Finn, and the former stormtrooper who wielded a lightsaber in the first film before being somewhat nudged to the periphery. But he's also talking about other people of color in the cast, Naomi Ackie and Kelly Marie Tran. We'll talk a little bit about that too, and even Oscar Isaac, a brother from Guatemala, in his words, who he feels suffered the same treatment. He's acknowledging that some people will say he's crazy or making it up, but the reordered character hierarchy of The Last Jedi was particularly hard to take. So on that note of the article, when you're just looking at that, it's very true in a sense that Finn was, when I remember first seeing the Force Awakens trailer, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have a black Jedi, and another black Jedi, because we had Mace Windu. He was the only black Jedi we had, at least for me growing up. When I was watching, I'm like, Mace Windu, okay, Mace Windu wasn't even that great of a character anyway. But I'm like, okay, Mace Windu, we got Mace Windu, that's cool. We're gonna get another black Jedi, that's awesome. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then they market him as a stormtrooper. I'm like, okay, he had the potential to be a really great character that was set up amazingly from the beginning, to have all these points that they could have addressed, ex-stormtrooper, maybe he's force sensitive, this, and they could have built on that, give him a side story arc. We already know, yes, we know that the sequels are about the Skywalker franchise. It's the Skywalker saga. It's about Rey. She's the title character. But what he's more or less addressing is the marketing. You're setting up a character to be more than what that you actually get in the film, and that's definitely not okay. To just do that, to bring in more of a black audience too, and I feel like that's just what it is too. A lot, especially a lot of black Star Wars fans saw that and was like, yo, this is cool. Especially, I'm speaking from my perspective too, like, whoa, this is cool. Another black Jedi, this is awesome. I can't wait to see this. Star Wars The Force Awakens, that's where we're gonna go right now. That's not the case. That's not what happened, and we saw what happened. Now, love or hate the sequel trilogy, I have a love-hate for it. I about to say love-hate relationship, but a love-hate for the sequel trilogy. Like, I like aspects of it, but I also dislike a lot of how it was handled, and how the story was handled, and how the narrative stuff was handled. And I have my own personal gripes with the sequel trilogy for Star Wars. But as just looking at overall, especially with Kelly Marie Tran, like setting her up and what she's been through, what John Boyega went through with his stuff, and like people literally saying they're going to boycott the movie because there's going to be a black character in the lead. There's going to be a black lead character. Like, that ain't right, and it really hurts. I said, especially as a black Star Wars fan, to really just see this happen, like a franchise that you like, where predominantly like 90% or 95% of the cast is a white cast, and then you have the aliens, of course, and you have the other non-human cast as well, which I think was one of the things that I really like about Star Wars, is being able to have these side characters, these side races, these side or just even main characters like Ahsoka, right, that are not necessarily white or black or anything like that. They're just alien. They're just different alien, different species, different race. And I think that's one of the uniqueness about Star Wars, and that's one of the things that I really like about Star Wars is diversity in that aspect. But when it comes to the humans, man, it's all white, man. It's all white, and it definitely sucks, and seeing that and being like, okay, I'm able to see myself in this character. And that's one of the great things about Black Panther. I talked about this in the Chadwick Boseman tribute reaction I did. That's one of the important things about Black Panther and what it meant for the film industry as a whole. Saying that it is okay to be black, and it is okay to be on the front and center of it all. That it's okay to take the main stage. It's okay to be proud of your skin, to be proud of your blackness, to be proud of your culture, to be proud of just being who you are. And I think that's one of the things that really made it amazing, and that's why that movie is so important for black people. Even if you like comic books or not, even if you think it's a fictional world, whatever, even if you're saying that it's a fictional world, doesn't matter. It does matter, because it's the representation is what matters. So anyways, let's continue with this article here. He also says, like, you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. You knew what to do with Adam Driver. You knew what to do with these other people, but when it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to John Boyega, you knew F all. So what do you want me to say? What they want you to say is, I enjoyed being part of it. It was a great experience. Nah. I'll take that deal when it's a great experience. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver and the nuance to Daisy Ridley. Let's be honest, Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows this. I'm not exposing anything. He even touches here that and I'll address that too, this specific portion right here, that he sees a relative salvage job to the returning director J.J. Abrams perform the Rise of Skywalker. Everybody needs to leave my boy alone. He wasn't even supposed to come back and try to save your explicit word, even though he has also acknowledges that it was an amazing opportunity and a stepping stone. So one of the things I say is that, John Boyega realized that yes, this franchise and this movie definitely turned his life around. It definitely has exposed him to a lot more people like me. I never heard of John Boyega until The Force Awakens, even though I know he did some other movies before. I never heard of him until that. So yes, it was a stepping stone, but he did go through some stuff, and it's like, yes, they did know what to do with Daisy. They knew what to do with Adam Driver. But when it came to Finn and it came to Rose, and it came to all these other characters, it's like, man, let's just put it to the side. I don't know what to do with them. Let's set them up to do something and then just turn them to goofball characters. And that's the thing, like they always do this in a lot of these movies for years, which sucks, because black people and people of color need to be treated equally in the film space. They need to be treated equally in life. I don't know why we're still at this point in life where we can't treat people equally. Why can't we be in something without getting judged because we're black? And if we talk about being black, and if we talk about standing up for what matters to us, and if we talk about being proud of our skin, and we talk about being proud of our culture, we're getting judged for being proud of it. If we dress up in certain garb or certain type of clothing that helps us to feel proud of our culture, we have to get judged by it. Like, I don't think that's fair. And people of color, and black people, people of color, brown people, we all experience the same crap. Asians go through it. As you can see with Kelly Marie Tran, people were just being super racist towards her, and until she had to come off of social media. John Boyega been through it, right? Hispanic people go through this, right? Middle Eastern, Indian, you name it. Brown people, people of color, all go through the same stuff to a similar extent. Some races go through worse than others, and it's not really about a fighting or who goes through worse than who. It's the point is, we all go through this judgment, and we all go through the stereotypical things like, okay, let's bring the black guy on a movie show or a TV show to be the funny side character, or let's just bring the Indian guy on to be the native that just came from India that's super smart. Like if you look at Big Bang Theory, all right, it's one of my favorite shows, but if you look at Raj, his character, why couldn't he be Indian American? He just had to be the stereotypical Indian character from India that's just an that's just super smart, and he's this, like, why couldn't he be Indian American? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a problem. It's a problem in the film industry. It's a problem in reality, and I think that it needs to switch. So I think going forward, because I feel like I'll always be a Star Wars fan deep down. The franchise has had a huge impact on my life, and me as a person has definitely changed the person who I am today. But I do think going forward, if Disney really wants to be inclusive and they want to talk about diversity, because we even saw at the end of Rise of Skywalker that a lesbian couple that they highlighted for like 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So don't just be hitting. And a lot of corporations, they do this. They thrive off of showing like people of color or minorities and stuff like that for the sake of, it's cool to be diverse. It's cool to look like if you're supporting the community, and I think that's the problem. Like, if you really want to support the community, you really want to be inclusive with your characters and your audience, because your audience is people, not just white people. You got people all over the world that are fans of your franchise. You have whites, black, Latino, Indian, Native Americans in some areas. You got all people all over the place, Asians, everywhere that are fans of your stuff. So I feel like the best way is to include more people, and to truly include more people. Like, for instance, Pedro Pascal, Latino actor, and for The Mandalorian, right? Latino lead in The Mandalorian. That's great. Do more things like that. Have more people of color in lead positions. Okay? If you're gonna do this, you want to correct this, you want to do right by Finn, even if it's not by Finn, you can give Finn a Disney Plus series. Explore his character more. Hinting that he has the Force but never really do anything with it, that's nonsense. So give him a Disney Plus series. Give him a Disney Plus series. Give Jonna a Disney Plus series. He was introduced in The Rise of Skywalker. I've heard rumors about her and Lando possibly getting a series. I don't know if that's ever confirmed or anything like that, but I heard rumors about it. But give them a series. You know what I'm saying? Like, give the black characters and the people of color, and even Poe Dameron. I'm pretty sure Oscar Isaac is pretty much done with this whole thing. I'm pretty sure he's just moving on to other things right now. But even with him, like, he wasn't used in a maximum way that he could have been used. And he's one of my favorite characters in the franchise. So with all of that said, I feel like, there's an era in Star Wars, and there's an era in the film industry and the television community that needs to be changed. Stop being afraid of black people. Stop being afraid of people of color. The reason why a lot of people of color and a lot of act out is because we're tired of being treated that way. We're tired of being looked on and slept on and things like that. Like, we're tired of it, and people are tired. People are angry about it, which is why everything that happened with George Floyd earlier this year has really sparked a movement this year with a lot of people, a much needed movement that needed to come about to raise awareness for this nonsense, because we are people too. We were nerds. I'm a black nerd. Look at me out here making comic book videos all day, every day. Right? We're nerds. We love this stuff. We love talking about this stuff. We love the world. Cater to your audience. Give us things that make us feel welcome. Don't push us aside. So don't be afraid of us, right? It's nothing to be afraid of. But anyways, guys, I said this is going to be a little bit more of a serious video. And it's going to create themes and stuff like that may be not what you wanted to hear, but we got to talk about it. So I just had to share my little 2 cents, my little 2 piece about the subject. Much love and much respect to John Boyega for coming out there and talking about his time and his experience with Star Wars and his time on set and everything. Much respect to him for that, man. I'm very super proud of him for that, and I wish him the best with the rest of his career and his life, man, and everybody else. So I'll see you guys in the next one. That's it for me. Clockmaster out.